right does the wolf judge the lion?
Hello, my sweet summer children. I'm back with the juice to get you through the long night. Why does it always cut off? I don't know. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Dire Wolf City. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And shout out to all the moderators in the chat. Shout out to the Discord book club. And what's up, everybody on the panel? The Dire Wolf City Dire Wolves.
Ooh, I just want to say, Miss Man Jones, good luck on your SATs. He said he has to go to, he or she, they said they had to go to bed early to study for that. So good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck with your SATs. And thank you for all the birthday wishes. Just in case you want to know, birthday was amazing. Your channel is up and running now, right? And you're covering.
Yes, I've been covering the Bad Batch. I actually just released a video on the Hunger Games prequel novel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. If you want to check that out, it's I Eat Zebra on everything. To make it simple for you guys.
Please check her out. And we're going to get into, unless you guys have any announcements you want to make, we're going to get into Jaime and Brienne. Any announcements you need to make?
You know, I never have announcements.
Never. And Mandy's coming with the hair channel. As long as we just stay on her, I guess.
You're breaking the live stream golden rule. You don't. Even though I've broken it like 5 consecutive times.
Pester me till I give in.
No, the golden rule is don't ask for collaborations on live. But we can push her into doing her own channel on live.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
We can do that.
Let's bully her.
We the people need this.
Thousands
so
of
you
listeners.
should do it.
Alicia, you're my favorite. Thank you.
You know I always have your back.
So we want to start out with the show, Jaime and Brienne. I want to start because I'm not going to lie. I was more upset, not more upset, but equally upset about Jaime's ending than I was about Daenerys's ending. Like equally.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So disappointing.
Oh, I think I just saw my high school friend in the chat. I'm pretty sure that's you, right, Nathan? Old nasty Nate. That's got to be him.
Old nasty Nate.
Okay. Crazy thing happened. So I had a really good friend in late high school / early college. Him and I haven't talked to each other in years, but we like had each other on Instagram and all that. And like I put on my Instagram story about the show. The dog's right next to me. I put on my Instagram about the show, and then he messaged in response to the story, and he's like, "Oh my God, is that Gray Area? Like you do a show with Gray Area? I've been listening to her for years." So it's crazy. Hey Nate.
Oh, nasty Nate! Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he said that's him. Oh,
yep. Thank God.
We have a super chat before we get into the show versus the books. From Count Valerian of House Tatters. Thank you for the super chat. Weird tangential I'm too tired for this shit. I don't know what the fuck that says.
Tangential?
Wait, weird tangential question. Tangential.
I wanted to say tangential, but I was like,
No, we're going with it. Nope, tangential.
Tangential.
Will we see squishers? I don't think so.
Metaphorically.
Yeah, metaphorically.
That's when in doubt, just say metaphorically.
We also have another super chat from John Lang. Thank you for the super chat. Do y'all think Brienne's gonna try to smash before she has to kill Jaime? # plug the book club. So yeah, I already said shout out to the book club Discord.
Oh yeah.
If you want to join the book club, it's in a Song of Ice and Fire book club, and it's in my Discord server. The link will be in the chat. So shout out to the book club. Thanks, John Lang, for showing up every week and supporting Direwolf City. Do you guys think Brienne's gonna smash?
Yeah.
Or pass?
Smash.
It's Jaime Lannister. Like, let's be real.
She likes them pretty.
She likes the pretty boys. She loves the pretty boys.
Well, and she likes people that are just nice to her. That doesn't take much because people have been so horrible to her whole life. Like Renly gave her one dance and she was in love with him. And Jaime is eventually nice to her and she's like, yeah, I'm kind of in love with you too.
Well, here's the polarity of the two that I love. Like Jaime is to his core kind to her, but he can't help but like be sarcastic in a lot of ways. Like even when they form that bond and they get to King's Landing, he still kind of says some sarcastic shit to her. But what I love is like Renly was super nice to her face, and he would say really cruel shit when she wasn't around, especially like making fun of like how tall she was, how unconventionally beautiful, or how she wasn't conventionally beautiful. Whereas Jaime kind of gives her shit to her face, but he deeply cares about her as a person. So
he wants to be her. Like he wishes he could be like her.
Yeah,
I think
it's like the innocence that he lost. He sees in her.
Yeah. I think she would probably want to smash too. Yeah, smash.
I don't know that there will be an opportunity. She just got seriously fucked up. Like her face has been gnawed off, her titties got gnawed off. Like she's got some issues going on at the moment.
Listen, if she can ride a horse, she can ride a dick. Okay.
Fair. I mean, if
she rode a horse out to Jaime,
I'll edit out that comment.
I'm just saying.
So we have another chat from Lauren Griffith. Ladies, I'm losing it over it being Brienne tonight. She's the perfect figure for Pride Month and me coming out to y'all starting HRT in a month. Awesome.
That's amazing.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Lauren.
Yeah, I'm glad we're doing Brienne. I'm super stoked. Like Jaime's one of my favorite characters. You guys been following me for some time. You know, I love the Kingslayer. But I also really like Brienne. As Rogue Priest pronounces her name, Brienne. I love her as well. So let's get into it. Do you think there is any scenario in your mind that Brienne is outside of Winterfell in her bathrobe crying to Jaime not to leave?
No. Hard no.
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 It's a no for me.
Yeah. No. That's not going to happen.
I hated
How is she?
that.
I can't even imagine her owning that kind of robe. like,
Yeah, she has
it's not even her
sex once, and
style.
all of a sudden she has lingerie.
Oh my god, when
Since
she
when?
came out and she's holding the robe like this and she's like, no, Jamie, don't go. I'm like,
Yeah.
Since
No.
when?
God, everything about that pissed me off so bad.
it's like it's like they only know one kind of female character to write. Like they only know one way to write a female, and that's a damsel in distress, which Brienne is far from. Like,
So, well, here's what's stupid about it. What was stupid about that whole, to me personally, what was stupid about that whole scene was they absolutely disregarded Jaime's entire arc. Like they went with it. You know, it just, to me, him going back to Cersei and dying in the way that he did for Cersei just completely shit on his entire arc. Not as bad as they shit on the Dragon Queen. We won't go there. Okay. But like it really shit on it. I think that realistically, no matter how tough you are, especially when the only person who's ever really loved you is leaving you, it's a very human response to react the way that she did. So I don't think she's a damsel in distress. I think she's just human. Are you, Jaime? Left me. See, they get it.
That was funny.
No.
I get it.
I mean, I get it, but like for Brienne, it doesn't make sense. For
It's a
Jaime,
human
response,
it doesn't. But for Jaime, it doesn't even make sense.
I think it's a very human, understandable response, no matter how tough you are. Like your first love, it's such a traumatic, devastating thing when you lose them. I don't think she'd be like begging him to stay, but as soon as he rode off, I think she'd still like bathrobe or not be crying in the middle of the, courtyard.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question for you guys. Would Jaime want to have sex with her?
Yeah.
I feel no.
Yeah.
Just because he's like so into Cersei in a weird way. Like they have that weird like narcissistic. I think it's like they think of them as their twin as an extension of themselves.
I don't know about anymore because he burned that letter.
He really hates her right now.
He did, but like romantically, I'm thinking like is he ready to take that step because he's never been with anybody else.
And he's not. Like I think they send a woman up to him.
And he's like, no, I'm all set. Yeah.
Pretty
Pia.
It's not Pia. Pia, there we go. Pretty Pia.
Yeah. And he's like not into it. I think he admires Brienne. I think he might like if they weren't in imminent danger wanna like, but I feel like it would be more than a hookup. Like it wouldn't be a hookup. I feel like I don't care what you guys say about Jaime. I feel like he's more honorable. He's a more honorable man than to just be doing hookups.
Yeah.
No one said it was just going to be a hookup. I think,
but that's what it was on the show.
I feel like they were.
It was a sneaky weeks.
No, like a while went by. A while went by. It kind of seemed like they continued to sleep together because he was going to stay in Winterfell with her. If you remember that scene where Sansa and sorry, I like almost burped mid sunset. Where Sansa and Brienne kind of give each other this little look, like when it's announced that Jaime was going to stay in Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was that really uncharacteristic scene of never mind, where Sansa tells Jaime like, "Oh, I had hoped I'd get to see Cersei executed myself." The whole thing was just sloppy, but I do think there's a possibility that they'll smash, and I don't think it'll just be a hookup, but I don't know. I think that he's done with Cersei. Like the whole burning of the letter kind of shows that.
I feel like it might even be in spite of Cersei at this point because he's every time he thinks about her, he goes back to that one line, for all I know, that he just thinks she's fucking everyone.
Yeah.
And there's that one line where he's in the tent with the guy who's got the chick that's like naked on the bed, and she's like covering herself.
Jonas Bracken.
And Jonas, yeah.
Jonas.
And he goes, "My brother's known hundreds of whores, but I've only bedded one." Like, he's furious with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's not a Cersei fan at the moment, and he, like you said, he burned the letter. He's got no intention of like running back into her arms. I feel like there are certain situations where he would go back if it was like imminent to her life, or maybe even for Tommen, but I don't see it happening. I feel like this is where his arc is supposed to go, and it wouldn't just crash the way it did.
I agree with that. And I was gonna say with going back to Brienne and Jaime, it is hooking up technically in that society because they're not married.
Mm-hmm.
So what he's doing to her and like their social construct, if you will, like how that works.
He's just hooking
He's
up
dishonoring her.
He's
well,
hooking up with Cersei.
Cersei's already married and deflowered. Like, that's not even that big of a deal, really. But like,
his sister.
But
Let's
Targaryens
decide
did it all the time.
besides, the Targaryens did it too. Like, besides that point, but I'm saying like Brienne, like it's dishonorable for her to just be hooking up with somebody without her being married.
She is the only honorable knight in Westeros.
Yeah, she really is.
Do you think she'll
But I believe that yes, and I think Jaime will be the one to do it. It has to be Jaime.
Well, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say with yeah, I think Jaime's definitely done with Cersei. Romantically,
I think he's done with her too. Romantically, for sure, but like I feel like he will.
If she absolutely needs him, like she's completely backed into the corner, that's still his sister.
Yeah.
So I think he still might ride out, especially with Kevin being dead. It's like it's a lot going on down there.
I think something could possibly happen, like when Jaime finds out that Brienne tricked him and kind of set him up. I feel like Jaime might be like, like, I can only fucking trust Cersei. I'm going back to King's Landing. And like how petty, not petty, but like how fucked up does your life have to be where the only person you can trust is Cersei? Like,
but let's go back on that for a moment. Because they're like, Brienne says they're a day's ride away, right, from where they're going to. And he tells, is it I can't remember who he tells, but he says that
Hoster.
that she can't lie, that Brienne just cannot lie. She does not have a face for lying. Everything is plain on her face when she tries. Mm-hmm. And she's gonna have to lie to him because he's gonna have questions. They're not gonna ride in silence. He's gonna ask, how did Sandor get Sansa? How did this happen? Why didn't you do it? There's going to be more to their conversation on the trip there. So I don't think he's going to go into that situation unprepared. The truth is going to come out at some point along their journey.
Yeah.
Do you think they actually go?
I do.
Like, what if they just run off?
Because Lady Stoneheart has Pod, and she's not going to leave Pod.
Yeah, she won't leave Pod.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what if she just was like, Jaime, you know what?
Hyle,
yeah.
But
yeah. She'll definitely leave
Hyle. We don't give a fuck about Hyle.
Yeah, fucks her Hyle cunt. Who cares about him? But like, she'll go back for Pod.
Oh, I thought you called him Hyle cunt.
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. So we got another super chat from Joanne Evans. Thank you for the super chat. Remember how devastated she was when Renly was killed? Yes, she was devastated. And one of the things this show did with Brienne is they made her kill Stannis. Does she kill Stannis in the books?
No, that's not happening.
No.
Geographically, it just doesn't work. They're
1,000
leagues away from each other.
Yeah.
I think in the show, as much as I loathed season 5 with every fiber of my being. It made sense to an extent. Like that whole battle didn't make sense, but if we're going to have that battle, Brienne's kind of there anyway. That made sense. If you want to do mental gymnastics about that battle existing to begin with, but we won't go there. But I think, like y'all said, she's going to be too far away. I really do think that Stannis will meet his end supernaturally up north, like north.
Yeah, they just wanted to give Brienne her moment to avenge Renly for whatever reason. They, like you said, they're mental gymnastics to get to that point.
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of Renly, when rereading one of Brienne's last chapters in A Feast for Crows, when she meets Gendry and how she's like immediately thinks it's Renly and she starts calling him Lord, and I was like, she really loves Renly. She misses him so much.
I know, it was a rough moment. Well, especially like she had just been through so much shit. Like Biter got stabbed through the face on top of her after he
I know.
her face off.
I wonder if because her face is missing, she will be able to deceive. Like, because her face is so fucked up, she will be able to deceive.
The lies will be the last thing they notice about her.
Yeah, they might notice the
because all swollen.
Yeah, she's been through some shit. Like she has not had it easy. Like I know a lot of people aren't fans of her chapters in general.
I don't understand.
Most of the Brienne love comes. I know me either. Most of the Brienne love comes from the show, and so that's why people like really gun for her. But I love her chapters. I think they're so much fun and they're entertaining and they're like it gives such a different perspective to the story because her character is so like naive and fresh, and it doesn't have all of this like taint of the bad shit in Westeros in it. And I think that it's the book chapters was what made. I mean, Gwendolyn Christie is amazing. She played the role incredibly well, but her chapters really made me fall in love with the character, and I want to see it go in a good direction for her, even though I don't think that's where it's going.
Yeah.
But she's such a good character. I don't know where I was going with that, so I'll just
one thing I really like with her chapters is George really flexes his horror writing skills. Like that chapter when she's getting her face bit off, I'm like,
right, because she doesn't even really realize what's happening either, and I think that's part of what makes it so creepy.
Like, yeah, or
even before that, when they're in the caves and all the echoes, what is it, the Whispers?
Yeah,
or the Echoes, or I don't remember what the place is called, but
no, it's the Whispers.
The Whispers, yeah. And I thought I was going to The Walking Dead for a minute, and the Dothraki. I have no names in my head right now, but the Dothraki and the two other guys, and that whole scene is terrifying. Like it's so scary. Like she has no idea what the hell's going on there,
and these guys just
jump out of nowhere. It's so scary. Like her chapters are so good. I could talk about it forever.
Like Feast for Crows is my favorite book.
Yeah,
I will not
the less ass whooping she gets.
I won't front. The first time I read the books through, I thought Brienne chapters were really, really boring, and I skipped a lot in those chapters. But then with my second read through, I forced myself to read everything, and that's when I fell in love with it. Like, holy crap, what was I doing? And my three favorite characters, Brienne is in there. So she's, I think that she, that chapter when she's with the elder brother, I think, Jesus, I sound like a noob. When he talks about broken men, that whole monologue that he goes off on, basically what war does to a man. I think with Brienne, no matter how much horror she sees, she will not become a broken woman, broken person. And I think that's what makes her so unique in a lot of ways. And I also love that she is such a contender for that younger, more beautiful queen that Cersei is so afraid of in the prophecy. Because she's such a beautiful person on the inside. And yeah,
Cersei for sure would never look at her. And I think that is usually who it is, the person that Cersei never thinks it is, because Cersei herself is always wrong. We have another super chat from Sandy Hartcorn. Thank you for the super chat. Sending light and love to the ladies who get me through the week. Thank you so much.
I receive.
We also have another super chat, a super sticker from is it Alicia or is it Alicia? Alicia.
There's a
Ayala.
Cecilia on that, so I think that is supposed to be pronounced, so I think it's Alicia.
Okay. Thank you for the super chat. That's my boo right there. So we don't think the whole bathrobe thing is gonna go down. We don't think they're gonna have like a sneaky link and then he runs away mid-pump. But what do we think? So right now, Jaime is with Brienne. That's the last that we've heard from Jaime. He's with Brienne, and Brienne is taking Jaime to what he thinks is Sansa, and the Hound has Sansa. So I am torn. I'm torn because part of me thinks Jaime might die in that cave. And it comes from his weird dream. He's in the cave with he's fighting the dead, which he's fighting Rhaegar, he's fighting his Kingsguard brothers, also Ned Stark, and they kill him like his sword goes out. And when he goes into the cave, Cersei says, "You will live as long as your light shines," or whatever. It's talking about the sword, but the sword goes out, which represents him dying. But I wonder if he dies in that cave and Brienne lives.
Wasn't Brienne in that vision as well?
Yeah,
with him in the cave.
Mm-hmm. And they were in a cave, and he says,
and they're heading to Lady Stoneheart's cave, and she's dead.
Yeah,
sort of.
So I'm torn because I feel like his story, to me, if his story ends right there, he's been redeemed. Like he's been redeemed. If story ends right there, but I feel like, is that all we get from Jaime and Cersei? Like we don't get to see any more Jaime and Cersei interaction.
I don't think that
it's going to end there.
Yeah, I don't think his story ends there for a couple of reasons. Just because that would be it would be a bit of a dry hump, wouldn't it?
Anticlimactic.
Very.
Yeah, more eloquent than I. Yes, my head's in the gutter right now.
I like dry hump. Let's go with dry hump.
Yeah, so in the gutter. But I also think that George knows that a lot of people were going to suspect Jaime as the Volungar. It's like a red herring to his red herring, you know? So I think that if Jaime goes out so soon, that because I think we all agree that Euron is probably going to be the Volungar, but I just think he's got to stick around for a while because we've got to question whether it's going to be Jaime to the very bitter end. And I just don't think that, I don't think that a roof is going to fall in on them necessarily, but I do think that the twins will leave this world around the same time.
Mm-hmm. We were born together. We should die together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that they will probably, like you said, go out at the same time. I do not see it being rock slide that takes them out. But there is a question though, and it's actually a question that came from a member of our Discord, Timmy. He says, which side will Brienne choose, her love for Jaime or her oath to Catelyn? And this really plays onto Brienne's struggle as a person, because she wants so badly to do and be the right thing because she is so good. She is a good person. She's a good character. She doesn't ever have like a moment where she's showing any signs of being dark or evil or anything. But she loves Jaime, and she would have died for Renly. she was in his Kingsguard. Like, I think
She
she
gets
would
like
get to the point where she would die for Jaime too.
She like Jamie has this whole thing, like they have this whole moment where like the bath where they're in the bathhouse at Harrenhal and Jamie's like, like, what would you do if it was you? And he tells her, the real story, And Jamie is constantly like trying to do the right thing. And there's like all these vows. There's so many vows. They make you swear and swear. So Brienne is unfortunately going to be put in a position where she knows that it's wrong to kill Jamie because Jamie has kept his word to Catelyn Stark. But the last thing that Catelyn Stark heard before she died was Jaime Lannister sends his regards. Not the Lannisters, Jaime Lannister. So she's going to be hell-bent on killing him. So I don't even, Brienne would have to fight the like whole brotherhood, I guess, to save.
Well, there's a theory
like how
that
do they get out?
that it'll be a trial by combat, or that because Brienne has essentially protected Jaime and gone along with him in his little, endeavor, and it didn't go the way Cat wanted it to go, which is go get my daughter, set them free. Well, he couldn't because they weren't there, but that Jaime has gone along and helped him and done, little errands and gotten along with him, that Lady Stoneheart will make her be his champion, even though she's, not exactly in the position physically to do so. But that she and who do they say, Lem Lemoncloak would be the champion for her, for Stoneheart, and that they will have a battle in the caves.
If Beric was in charge of the Brotherhood, maybe that
I don't see
happen.
Stoneheart doing that.
But Stoneheart,
Yeah, no,
she's
not
like
with Jaime.
Yeah,
Not with
like
Jaime.
he doesn't care.
sword or noose type of.
Well, she's not about being fair anyway. To be
Right.
honest, she's just like Frey, Lannister. Fuck you. You're all gonna die. We'll call it a trial, but really, it's just like I'm already judge, jury, and executioner. You killed my son.
Well, I mean, they've already like she lived her life by the laws of Westeros and it was a trial for Tyrion that fucked her.
Yeah,
That really fucked her in the beginning. So
True.
yeah, I don't blame her for being like, fuck these trials.
Here's the thing too, though. Here's the thing, and I've said this before in a stream. I can't remember which one we did. I think that Jaime has the potential to intellectually be on par with Tyrion. The big difference between Tyrion and Jaime is Tyrion has a lot more self-preservation than Jaime does. Jaime is a lot more zero fucks given.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be in a situation where he has a whole lot of fucks to give. So he's really going to be using his wit to get himself out of that situation. Now, it's probably not going to be smooth talking as much as Tyrion does. But I think that he's, like Jaime's descended from Lant the Clever just as much as Tyrion is. And Rohan Weber, Rohan Weber. So, I mean, he'll find a way out of that situation, which will very much echo what happened with Tyrion. It just won't be quite what Tyrion did. But it's like you said, Lady Stoneheart is going to be, she's not going to be fair. She's been screwed over when she's been fair. So it'll be interesting, but I definitely think his wits will get them out of that situation.
Jackie C in the chat says Thoros is going to give them that fire kiss. So what if they kill Jaime and then kiss the life him right back?
Another fire.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. But why?
No idea why.
Why
they
not?
do that.
Why not?
You got me there.
I mean, maybe the what did they say? The sword will burn as long as you live. The fire will burn as long as you live. I can't remember the exact quote, but I think that's what Cersei says.
You heard it here first, folks.
Fire White Jaime.
New theory. New theory.
We have a super chat from No. Thank you for the super chat. There is no wine so sweet as wine taken from a foe. One day I shall drink your wine, crow's eye, and take from you all that you hold dear. Victarion. She says Victarion is the Valonqar. I just think that's more foreshadowing that Euron is the Valonqar. Euron's gonna kill Cersei, 100%. We have another super chat from Josh Gripe. If Jaime's weirwood dream implies him dying in Stoneheart's cave, is Len Lemoncloak Richard Lonmouth, Rhaegar's former squire and friend? In dream, Rhaegar and Aerys' Kingsguard judge him, but they're dead.
So if I may take a moment to, like I do every episode, at least once an episode, plug Radio Westeros podcast. They actually have a Brotherhood Without Banners episode. I think it's like episode 9, 10. It don't matter. Anyway, Lady Gwen has this whole theory about how Len Lemoncloak is Richard Lonmouth. So you can check it out there. With that said, because Radio Westeros said it, I'm totally drinking that Kool-Aid. And yes, I think that Len Lemoncloak is Richard Lonmouth.
So I heard the theory years ago, and I kind of like it's an okay theory. Like I kind of feel like it's up there with the Rhaegar and Ismance. Like it's kind of that same kind of tinfoil type of thing. I don't see why Richard Lonmouth would be rolling around with Lady Stoneheart killing folks. Like if it was Rhaegar's squire, I feel like he'd be trying to find Aegon. He'd be trying to find Dany. He'd be trying to seek out Rhaegar's kin.
Yeah, unless he just doesn't have as many fucks to give anymore.
Could be.
Well, no fucks to give about that in particular, I should say.
And if he stayed along the like the Riverlands after the war, why leave the area you know well?
I think that narratively it would make sense why someone who was once Prince Rhaegar's squire is still running around with a secret identity in this story, because I mean it's not like the Targaryens were or Targaryen loyalists were well rewarded if they remained anyway, but I think that he could have background information. It might not necessarily be as devastating to the plot as RL plus J, but he could.
Well, maybe he could tell Cat RL plus
R plus L equals J.
Don't kill Jon Snow. This is Aegon.
But I'm saying he could have narratively. He could have some background information that we as readers want to know.
True.
So it's not going to be as impactful as stuff that Howland Reed knows necessarily, but narratively I think there could be a good purpose. So,
well, I like this next super chat.
You want to read it?
Sure. This is from Steph Sarzinski.
I think that's right.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you for the super chat. This isn't related to Winds of Winter, but what do you ladies think would happen if Jaime had explained to Ned that Aerys was attempting to use wildfire to destroy King's Landing?
I don't think Ned would care.
He wouldn't believe him. And if he did, like in the small chance that he did, he would still say, "You're wrong. That's wrong."
I think he would have believed him, but I think he would have sent him to the wall.
Yeah.
Just because the way Ned's brother and father died, it was very sadistic. So I think it would be very within the realm of possibility for Ned to be like, oh yeah, and he saw him at the tourney, so like everybody knew Aerys was like super cooked. So like if Jaime's like, yeah, no, he was gonna like burn everybody down, like I had to do what I had to do to save everyone. I feel like Ned would be like, know what? Kind of like how Stannis, it's like, all right, you did a good deed, but you also did a bad deed, so I still have to punish you for the bad deed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Ned would be like, hey, good looking out. We appreciate your service, but now you got to go to the wall because you still weren't supposed to do that.
Well, there would probably be a lot less distaste for Jaime throughout the years.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
Because this was pre Tower of Joy. Ned was still very like, I mean, he till the day he died. Ned bends the rules when someone he loves is on the line. So it's not like he loves Jaime, but I'm sure he would have some semblance of sympathy for him. But it would very much be, well, if I had my way, you'd go to the wall. We all know Robert was going to reward Jaime for what he did anyway. But I mean, Ned, narratively, as far as we know, never really bent his not stubbornness, but like his own code and rules until Lyanna died, and he realized his nephew's life was in danger if he didn't.
When I say I don't think he would believe him, what I mean is that he wouldn't think that if Jaime said, well, he was going to blow up the city, Ned would have said, well, yeah, he might have been going to blow up the city, but whatever you did to advance House Lannister. And like one of the things that really pissed Ned off that to me didn't make much sense was that Jaime sat on the throne. Like when he tells Robert, like when they're in the Barrowlands, and he's like, Ned is like, I gotta tell you this. You know, I've been holding this for all these years. When I walked into the throne room, Jaime Lannister was sitting on the throne, and Robert's like, is that your deep dark secret? Like, is that it? There's no other chairs in the room. It's the only chair.
Where the hell do you want him to sit?
Killing kings is tired work.
So
was he supposed to sit on the step?
There could be two interpretations of that. I know that originally, and let's talk about the original outline. George R.R. Martin had kind of wanted Jaime to either attempt to take the throne or successfully take the throne, and that was supposed to be foreshadow. But it also kind of fits with Jaime's personality in general. Jaime is the kind of person that'll break something and be like, well, fuck, might as well go all the way with this shit anyway. So I can kind of see him like, even internally, just kind of being like, almost the way Tyrion is. Like, I wish I was the monster you think I am. Like, I just killed the king. They're going to think XYZ about this. Well, I might as well just like sit on this throne, just like, sup, dudes. So I mean, it tracks with Jaime's personality, even if the whole concept of him taking over as king was scrapped.
All three of them are kind of like that with the I did it, I may as well own an attitude. And I think they get that from Tywin. And Tywin is very much gives off that kind of energy. Like, this is the way it is, just revel in it.
Yeah. So, no, just sent a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And I just have to tell you guys this, like this idea just popped in my head. She says, the flames will burn so long as you live, he heard Cersei call. When they die, so must you. Now, we know that Catelyn Stark was brought back by the fire kiss, and she is a fire white. What if she is the flame that as long as she's alive, he's alive? Which means he's going to kill her, but not only in the process of him killing Lady Stoneheart, he dies.
Well, she's frequently paralleled with wildfire. Frequently.
I think he might kill her. And if he kills Catelyn Stark, he will be cemented as my favorite character.
Right?
Even above Dany.
I don't think he will. And the only reason why I don't think he will is because he's kind of like on this honor redemption tour, and he already said to the Blackfish and Edmure, like, had I not sworn an oath to Catelyn that I wouldn't do you guys any harm, I would have done something to you already. But I told her I wouldn't do that.
Ooh, and he did when they were
and
treating.
Blackfish. Yeah, and Blackfish is like, well, I mean, she's dead, and he's like, well, I still made my oath, and he's like, what do you know about oaths type shit? So it's like.
And the Blackfish escaped from River Run.
Mm-hmm.
So what if the Blackfish gets together with Zombie Cat?
Jaime is still afraid of the Blackfish.
Yes.
Oh, he is.
He admires him.
I love that for him.
He doubles the guard that is taking Jane and her bitch mother and Edmure to Casterly Rock. Sybil, thank you. I couldn't think of the name, so I went with bitch mother.
I like it better.
He doubled their guard at the last minute to 400 people, and he says because the Blackfish is out there, and if he can get Edmure out, he will. he's still afraid of his ass. Like, he knows who he is and what he's about. And him getting back together with Stoneheart would be kind of awesome in a way, because this is the only version that I enjoy Cat in, is Dead Zombie Cat. And so it's because she's so straightforward about what she's got going on in her life. She's not playing any more games. Like, you fucked up my family, I'm gonna kill you, end of. And I can respect that. I can get behind that kind of mentality. So to have the Blackfish get in on that would be like so awesome, right? It would be so great. And so I can see why Jaime is a little bit afraid of the Blackfish and why he's taking extra precautions.
Also, I think that the Blackfish might kind of be able to like corroborate Jaime's like character a little bit, because they just had that interaction, so he can be like, no, like he actually was still like,
right. He's like the only person
being a little bit honorable. Yeah, because she's not going to care about Brienne's opinion or anybody else's opinion.
And isn't Tom 07's there too? Like, wasn't he in River Run?
He is.
So
they had a conversation.
I don't know though. Wasn't he there when Jaime was basically like, talking shit to Edmure?
When he threatened to trebuchet a newborn child? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not only that, but it's like, there's like, Catelyn's not going to be like, oh, you didn't harm, you didn't harm my brother and my uncle, even though you threatened to, And,
right. He threatened him quite a bit because Edmure was being super sassy. And he's like, well, fish can swim, even black ones, bitch. And he's like, well, how does an oubliette sound? Like, we're going to put you in this tiny little cell where you can't even like bend down and knock the rats off your feet. Yep. And Thomas Evans was there for the whole thing.
If I were a vengeful petty bitch, I'd be super pissed off that the dude that swore he would not lift a finger against my house just displaced my family from my ancestral home and installed a fucking Frey and his aunt. There's plenty to be pissed off about, so I don't think Tom's going to be vouching for Jaime in any aspect.
I don't think I think that him and the Blackfish are going to be, back and forth at like a little mock trial almost, like vouching for him and then talking against him, and then there's going to be a moment in which the actual decision is made.
So Jaime said he was gonna yeet us the fetus. Oh my god, y'all are awful.
I love that.
Y'all are terrible. Do you think
go to bed?
Do you think that that they would kill, like, say Tom 07 gets there and she's like, well, yeah, Jaime has your brother. Would they kill would she then kill Jaime because Jaime has her brother? If she finds out that Jaime has Edmure on his way to Castle Rock, does she kill Jaime? Like, because if Jaime goes, then it's Cersei that's in charge.
Does this bitch look like?
And they know
in her head.
What?
She remembers.
I know. Okay, she remembers, but is she smart? Here's the thing: like, they're kind of going after saving Edmure anyway, because the deal is Edmure is not behind a fortified castle yet. He's on the road, which means open season, which means that's a risk she might be willing to make. I think she's so vengeful that she's probably not going to be looking at Jaime as a bargaining piece, because the last time she used him for a bargaining piece, it didn't really work out in her favor in the long run. So she's going to want him to do a big dead sooner than later.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ara.
Jaime can really leverage his power in the situation. It just dawned on me. A lot of people know where he went off to and the direction he went off in. So they know where he was going to. So it's kind of like Jaime can just be like, there's a whole army not that far from here. You're not going to get far once they know where I went. So they'll come after me if I'm gone for too long.
Well, they could still
wait. I have your brother. He can lie and say that her daughter-in-law is pregnant with Rob's child, manipulate that situation. I would do it if I were Jaime. Like, oh yeah, and your grandchild. Not true, but she
That's a
doesn't know
good
that.
point. And the POV we think is going to be her, right, Jean?
I think she's featured.
I think
in
it's going to
it.
be Sybil.
I think it's gonna be what's his name?
I think
Ellen
it's gonna be
Payne.
Sybil.
I vote Ellen Payne. I'm dying figuratively on
I
that
want
hill.
Sybil.
Yeah.
Sybil's
Ellen
spicy.
Payne would be great. I would love
She
to
can
get inside
still
his
die,
head.
though.
I don't
Yeah.
want Ellen Payne to die. I like
either.
him. He's creepy. Like him.
Yeah.
I would
He
like
just,
to get
helps
inside of his head,
Jaime.
though. That would be
Yeah.
cool. But no, I
Yeah.
want it to be Sybil.
But so Jaime has like mad power in the situation, so that's how he can kind of pull a Tyrion and weasel his way out of it. Like he can just say like, "Oh, I mean, you kill me, they're gonna kill your family's future, your son's like legacy." Like even though again that is not true, but Jaime can lie, and nobody would know. And nobody there would know.
He is banking on the fact that everyone knows he's Tywin's son. He comes out and says it in his inner monologue. So, like I said, I think he's going to
and he's not a bluffer
out of the situation. So
and they don't bluff. The Lannisters do not bluff, and they're obviously not above killing children. So,
oh yeah, for sure. True. I don't think Jaime could do it.
No,
I don't think he could do it.
But he'll bluff.
I think Tyrion could
bluff it. Yeah. I think Jaime would bluff it. I don't think he would actually do it. I mean, we say that our first picture of the dude was him shoving a kid out of a window, but his arc has dictated that is not what he is about. He's not about that life anymore. He's like positive vibes, smudge sticks. He's getting his shit together.
Positive vibes.
The show made me so mad when
he's got a shell necklace now.
When he was like treating with Edmure Tully, because they did it like way after, like they had the events like all jumbled up. So he's meeting with Edmure Tully and he's like, I will slay every Tully to get back to Cersei. And I was like,
gross.
Yeah.
Who is this? We have a super chat from Sarcastic Sid. It says, thank you for the super chat. It says, do you ladies believe the Lannisters, besides Tyrion, truly believe Jaime's story about why he killed the king? Or do you think Tywin thinks secretly Jaime did it for the family? I think Tywin already knew.
Oh, Tywin believes him because he knows he of all people would know how crazy Aerys is.
Right.
And and there's no way Tywin didn't know that these people were putting wildfire all over the King's Landing. There's no way he didn't know that information.
Yeah, Tywin and Aerys were friends their entire lives.
Yeah, and it takes years to put that much down, and he only had been gone for maybe 2 years, 3 tops, if that.
Since not even the tourney at Harrenhal. That's when he left.
Yeah, so he would have known that Aerys had this going on the whole time.
Do you think that Tywin and Jaime even talk about it? Because I don't really see Tywin giving a shit either way, and I think Tywin would have known. It's like you said, like Tywin doesn't need to know the reason why Jaime would do it. Like Tywin would know one way or another, and it's kind of implied that Jaime didn't really tell a whole lot of people other than Cersei and Brienne. Mm-hmm. So maybe Tyrion, but maybe not.
And I think that Jaime could just kind of like look at Tywin, give him like a little nod, like, yeah, your friend's fucking crazy, bro. And that would have been it. Like there wouldn't have had to have been a conversation about that because they both knew who Aerys was. They both knew why. I mean, Jaime maybe not at first because he was only like 16, but eventually he knew why Aerys put him in his Kingsguard.
Yeah,
he knew to kick Tywin in the ass. Like they knew who he was, and so I don't think it was a secret between them, and I don't think that it's something that they would have had like a big drawn out conversation about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Only reason why I disagree with you guys on that is Tywin likes control, and one thing he's gonna want to know is the exact details because in the event this gets brought up in like some type of trial of sorts, he would want to know that information right away. especially like when the events are first happening. I would think he would want to get his whole story. Like, I feel like because it's regicide at the end of the day. That's a very serious like charge that could be up against. It's like a new regime. You don't know. He doesn't know Robert that well. He doesn't know how Robert's going to take it. Like, truly know how Robert's going to take it when it's first happening. So I think when he gets there, he's going to be like, all right, like, run down what happened very quickly, just so if he needed to like take care of some pieces, he can still take care of it. And Jaime's really young, so I feel like he would want to tell his dad kind of what happened, like in that sense, for just a control, like just control purposes. Like, we need to control the narrative if it gets to that point. But then once Robert's kind of like, oh no, that's cool, you're fine with me, keep your job, bro, I don't mind, then it's like, oh well.
I think that makes sense So I think it makes sense in the, like, that's more of the reason why Robert killed Rhaenys and Aegon. Because, like, my son's already killed the king. I gotta kill Robert. I gotta kill these babies and let them know our family is gonna be loyal because we came so late to this cause. But on the, like, another part of me says, like, Tywin might just think that Jaime did it because Tywin started sacking the city. Because Aerys wasn't dead. Aerys told them to go open the gates for Tywin and let him in. And as soon as Tywin came in, he started fucking the city up. So he just might, like, Tywin might just think that Jaime just followed suit. Like, okay, my dad's here. And it's interesting that we don't ever hear about that. Like, those conversations. But I do think Tywin, being like the strategic guy that he is, he'd want to know what the hell went down.
He is a strategist, and I will give him that. He does consider all points, but counterpoint, his ass is a mile wide. Like, he is so up in his own power, and he's sitting there thinking right now, I just put you on the fucking throne. You're here because of what I did. You want to come at me about anything right now? Anything at all?
Yeah.
Like, that would so be Tywin's attitude. To just look at Robert and say, this is what you're worried about? You have an entire fucking kingdom, bro. Come on. Like, I don't see him being real upset with these particulars. I see him just being like, shut up, Robert. Go be happy on your throne.
Robert only listened to Stannis. Sorry, guys.
Scour that court.
No, I am everybody out of here. If it were me, I'm listening to Stannis because Stannis was correct. Get all these people out of here. But
Can I get this next super chat?
Sure.
Okay, Zayramina sent a super chat. Thank you so much. Me and my son Anakin love all your content. Well, I love all the content, and he loves hearing your voice. He's 5.
Hi, Anakin.
Absolutely same.
Hey, Anakin.
My kids know so much about Game of Thrones. They've never seen a single episode, but they sit and watch theory videos with me, and we were watching Gray Area for years before we ever met. And when my youngest was little, he would say, hello, my sweet summer children, all the time to everyone. It was the cutest thing ever. So, hi, Anakin.
If that's Anakin in the picture, so cute.
So stinking cute.
Yes.
I think it's really funny because my dad and I would talk Game of Thrones theories all the time, and he'd be like, do you ever watch Gray Areas videos? And I'm like, no, Dad. Here we are. My dad loves Gray Area almost as much as he loves me.
That's awesome.
Or as Gray calls him, Sweet Summer. I can't even personally say it without throwing up.
Sweet Summer Zaddy.
Hey.
He does age well. He does age well.
Yeah, so. that man looks good for his age. He got big calf muscles. I hope he does.
He's just so tired of us.
We'll bring pics next Friday. Come see us next Friday. We'll bring pics.
So we have a super chat from Mr. Marmello. Thank you for the super chat. Non-zombie cat, fan and lover of Nim, British GB hairdo for Queen birthday. Takashi 68.
Shut up.
Somebody
You're such a bitch.
Randy got in an argument with someone on Twitter. Well, she didn't even get in an argument. She was just talking to someone on Twitter, and they were like, "Takashi 68."
They didn't understand her sarcasm.
Yeah,
I guess not. Couldn't appreciate it.
my baby is
Okay, it's
not
not for
Takashi
everyone.
68. She's a unicorn,
Thank you.
a goaticorn.
Oh, Brandon.
Rick on hashtag goaticorn.
Go to Corners.
We have another super chat from Brandon Winslow. Hey, Brandon, thanks for coming. Thanks for the super chat. So late. Glad I made it, though. No question. Just appreciation for what y'all do. We had fun. We met, like, I was so bummed we didn't have it last week. We didn't have a stream. I was like, we have
so
Same.
much.
we have
I
to
missed
get
you guys.
together, like, before Friday. I miss you, bitches.
Well, I mean, it played out fine because you had your whole birthday thing, which was good. And then I ended up getting tonsillitis last week anyway.
Good.
So
Yeah.
I'm better now. So everything plays out well for a reason.
So, but we're back. So if you guys don't think Jaime's gonna die in the cave, do you think that Weirwood Dream could have anything to do with the crypts of Winterfell? I'm trying to think of another cave system.
Oh, there are plenty though. There are caves in
the Rainwood.
in the Rainwood. I almost said Dorne, but it was like when she was on her way from Dorne. There are caves under the wall. There are caves beyond the wall. There
In the Vale.
Yep. There are many caves. So many caves. Binders
In
full
the
of
Whispers,
caves.
too.
In the
Mhm.
Whispers. So it could be anywhere. It just doesn't feel right. And
it doesn't even have to be a cave. He could think it's a cave. It could be the tunnels under King's Landing. It could be I mean, technically it was a cave in the show where they died because there was rocks, and it was, it's been described as cave-like, I guess, because the rock walls and everything's carved into the actual walls. So it kind of sounds like a cave. Not that I think that's where he's going to die, but there's a lot of options. It doesn't have to be, the cave that he's on his way to now. I hope.
I feel like he has so much more story.
Yeah, I'm
ahead
not
of
ready
him.
to die.
Basically,
so much more to do.
my main point is, in my gut, I don't feel like he's going to die in the cave. And everyone here knows I'm psychic. So,
all right,
somebody's got to die in the cave, and it's Sir
I
Alan.
pulled up the quote. So
you found it.
Keep the idea that maybe it could be the cave. This is him. Below the earth, his doom awaited. He knew with the certainty of the dream. Something dark and terrible lurked there. Something that wanted him. Something terrible lived down here.
Okay, that doesn't sound like the cave that they're on their way to now. That sounds like the crypts of Winterfell. Something dark and evil down there.
But how does Ghost of High Heart describe Catelyn Stark?
Lady Stoneheart is dark and evil as hell.
Yeah.
Like
the way they describe the area, how there's like literally dead people hanging everywhere.
You're killing my vibe.
And they say, she says her eyes.
She's spooky.
The terror. Why can't I ever remember a quote? The Ghost of High Heart said like her eyes were terrible or something.
When she opened her eyes, I awoke with a shudder or something because she said, let me Google it right now.
Yeah, please, because I feel
one of these days we'll have quotes.
Yeah, one of these days we'll have quotes and stuff, but we try to like keep it.
I have every quote but the one that we actually need.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful today.
The only thing that makes me like feel like maybe it's connected to the others or to Winterfell or something like that is because when he encounters Rhaegar, they're like snow and mist and ice.
I got it. Should I do it in my Ghost of High Heart voice or just like a normal person tonight?
Please.
Do the voice.
The voice.
Do the voice.
Okay. She said, I can't do it. She said, I dreamt of a roaring river. Okay. I dreamt of a roaring river and a woman that was a fish. Did she? We suck. Okay. I dreamt of, this is why I can't have nice things. Okay. I dreamt of a roaring river and a woman that was a fish. Dead she drifted with red tears on her cheeks, but when her eyes did open, oh, I woke from terror. All this I dreamt and more.
So that's Lady Stoneheart's birth. So
Okay, but she's not the only terrible, horrible thing that he can be facing in the near future.
I mean, it's like
zombies coming. Like, there's all kinds of shit going on. It could be anything.
But it's in his imminent future.
No.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to believe it either, but yeah, it is in his imminent future.
And like the whole time they're in there, Brienne's all like, I swore an oath to keep him safe. I swore an oath to keep him safe. And like she's literally breaking the oath right now. And we know that this dream is prophetic because this is the dream that sent him back to save her from the bear, and he sees the bear in this dream. See, and the swords, Oathbreaker and Widow's Wail. He gives her the sword down there.
So that part has one of my favorite lines in the entire series, and the extra everything George has written when Brienne asks Jaime why he came back for her, and it basically says like 1,000 quips came into his head, like he's just thinking about all these sarcastic things to say, but he ends up just telling her, I dreamed of you. I love them so much. So much.
Michael Shakur said, Gray, I don't want to hear nothing about the Ghost of High Heart from you, child, because you never dropped the Ghost of High Heart video. I ain't forgot, honey. How about this? I will drop a Ghost of High Heart video next week.
I'm with that. I agree with Michael Shakur. That video.
Make sure it happens.
I'm gonna drop it next week. It's done. It's a done deal. I've said it on this live. It's gonna happen. And then all will be forgiven. And then we could follow up with the episode on the Ghost of High Heart because we're still in the Riverlands and we have scraps to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, we also have the Northern Kingdom scraps to do. Yeah. So many episodes.
We'll probably have a couple of scraps episodes back to back.
We have to do the Hound, Ghost of High Heart. We can do
Blackfish,
the Blackfish, Edmure,
the Grey
Brotherhood without. I'll say probably the Brotherhood without banners.
Yeah, the
Brotherhood. Banners.
So should we start having them vote in the chat?
Oh, I was gonna say, if we do, should we just do it between North and Riverlands?
Yeah, we'll do the scraps episodes. So you can do. So we're. Lord have mercy. It's been a long week, long day. But anyway, you guys can vote for the next Friday episode. It's going to be scraps, which means the characters that we didn't do in the North or the characters that we haven't done in the Riverlands. So in the North, it would be Theon, Asha, Davos,
Selyse.
So it'll be like everything that's and Mance. I feel like
did we do the wildlings?
No.
Like Tormund and them?
So it will include all the storylines of the North that we just didn't get to, that they weren't big enough on their own to have their own video, or the Riverlands, which will be the Blackfish, Edmure, Littlefinger, the Ghost of High Heart,
Brotherhood without banners.
The Brotherhood without banners.
Say it right.
So if you want the North, put a wolf. If you want the Riverlands, put a fish.
Is there anybody else that we forgot in that area, like the Riverlands?
We'll think of it as soon as
Nymeria.
Oh,
Nymeria. The Wolfpack, it's its own little segment.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about them.
Nope. Nymeria and who else? Somebody else is in the Riverlands. No, in the north, Howland Reed.
Oh, Howland Reed.
I always think he's in the Riverlands because of the neck, but
Because the neck,
he's in the north.
Yeah.
Stannis' men need those northern scraps. They're starving to death. It looks like the north won by a long shot.
It's not over. There are a lot of wolves in the chat.
There are a lot.
It's a lot of wolves.
Too. But it's a
lot. Blood Raven. The north might have to be the north is looking like a 2-part scrap.
Yeah, because we have to cover so we could do the wildlings and Blood Raven together.
Yeah,
or we could do the people at the wall together and then the people in Winterfell together.
Winterfell / Crofters Village, or
yeah.
Okay.
/ White Harbor.
Yeah.
Civilization
Davos
and uncivilization. Yeah, Davos.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Gendry. Yeah, I think we should touch Gendry in the Riverlands.
Gendry.
And that little pack of orphans.
Yes.
Y'all, we have a long way to go. And then where do we go after the Riverlands?
Should we have them vote on that now? No.
I think we should vote on it now. So we can get prepared for it. No, that's too much.
How many emojis do you want me to count tonight?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, Mandy, count it. Do you remember when we were streaming with The Usual Suspects? And Tony was like, Phil, hold it down. Phil, hold it
down. We got a super chat from old nasty Nate. It makes me think of Nate Dogg for some reason. Thanks for the super chat. No question. Just glad I made this week. Another great show. I'll be waiting for the Ghost of High Heart video. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming.
Up. You know, in high school, we used to call him Scotty. I don't remember why.
Nate, if you remember why, drop the story in chat. Now I'm curious how you get Scotty from Nate.
No, I was just thinking of that song, Scotty Doesn't Know.
Doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know.
We got another.
Just said Nim is Direwolf City, Phil.
She is. You are Direwolf City, Phil.
Nim is like the most organized.
Yeah.
Or Phil is a Usual Suspects Nim.
He has the hair for me to do it rainbow. We need to get working on that.
We can do it in Memphis, not Memphis. Where are we going? Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah.
We can do it there.
So we have a comment from Marcos Targaryen. Great area. Will Jaime believe that Aegon is alive? What will be his reaction to hear the prince he was supposed to protect is alive? I don't think he's going to believe it. I think he's going to have the same reaction as Kevin Lannister. Because Jaime was there. And Jaime was there and saw the babies. And unless there's some kind of convincing story, I don't think he's going to go for it.
Yeah.
I think the prince, if he wants to protect a prince, if he wants to protect Rhaegar's son, he needs to look no further than Jon Snow.
I think that by the time, with everything going on, by the time Aegon comes on Jaime's radar of shit to worry about, he'd probably be mildly amused about it more than I gotta prove this wrong, because it's Jaime. I mean, at the end of the day, Jaime only cares about so much, and that's why I love him. But I don't think he'll give enough shits to kind of go out of his way to prove that Aegon's a pretender.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think he would just brush that shit off.
I don't think no one is going to have to go out of their way to prove anything about Aegon, because I feel like he's not going to live that long, sadly.
I think there's going to be a grayscale outbreak, but that's a story for another day.
We have another super chat from Josh.
Cuties.
Would Brienne killing Stoneheart be, in a sense, still serving her vow to Cat? Being a zombie consumed by vengeance is probably a miserable existence, so death would be a mercy in a sense. Thank you for that super chat, and that's a very good question. I think no. I think like logically, yes. Logically, yes. I wouldn't want to be a zombie, but at the same time, I would also want to kill all the fucking Freys.
Mm-hmm.
And if you stop me from that, I'd be livid.
Yeah. If I was out to get vengeance on the people that killed my children and someone stopped me from doing that, I would find a way to do like Zombie 2.0 and come back and kill their ass and then go kill the people that killed my children. Because like, you know, I mean, in theory, it sounds great. Like, you know, hey, you're not miserable anymore. Just go be at peace. But like, I'm still pissed. I want to be pissed for a while.
Mm-hmm.
She has every right to be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she does.
They killed her baby.
Yeah.
Jai Ketkar says Jaime had an interesting arc, like how he knew Rhaella was raped. What would his attitude be towards Daenerys coming? I
don't think it'll be on his radar too much.
I don't think he'll have that much interaction with her.
Because when it comes down to it, like, I don't think he gives a shit about his family being on a throne. I think he just wants to know that his family is alive.
And
so as far as like Cersei trying to retake the throne, he's like, Cersei, I don't give a shit. But if like Dany were coming after Cersei, that might be a different story. But I mean, like, Jaime just wants the people he loves to be alive and well. He doesn't care about who's on the Iron Throne, which is, I think he would be, oh, that's cool. Fun fact, I heard you being conceived. Like, I don't know. I don't really see him.
I think Dany would be a lot more pressed about that situation than Jaime would because he killed her father. So there would be like hey, you killed my dad. You want to talk about it? Like, but Jaime would just be like,
not really.
Shit happens. Shit happens.
That was
I
one thing.
Compartmentalize that.
There was one thing in the show that like I feel like they kind of got right. Like if she did have an interaction come face to face with the guy that killed her dad, I think her reaction, like people were saying, why did she care about her dad? Like her dad was the Mad King. It's her dad. It's her dad. She doesn't know him. She didn't know him. And the only thing that she knows about him, she has been taught by her fucking crazy ass brother. So that action, whether it was a good action, like killing her dad, probably was the right thing for anybody to do. But that action got her fucking family killed and her sent on the run.
Right. So, that was the action, whether she gave a shit about her father or not, because she never knew him. It was the one action that affected her entire life.
Not only that, but realistically, when you, like, I have close family members who have done some horrible shit, and it does not escape me that they have done horrible shit. But at the end of the day, that's my blood, and I love them very much. And that doesn't mean necessarily that I'm on board with the horrible shit that they've done, but that's my blood, and it's my family.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I said that. And oh my God.
I was gonna say, well, she has like
we need to make a t-shirt. I heard you being Jamie Lannister. But we're gonna wrap it up. We've been going for a little while, and we're gonna like wind it down. I think we pretty much covered everything that we think is gonna happen. Like I personally am really leaning towards Jaime might die in that cave. He might kill Lady Stoneheart, but he might die as well. I don't fucking want that to happen.
Maybe it's just a really great opportunity to get rid of fucking Hyle Hunt in the story, and we can all move on with our lives, you know?
Yeah, I think he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Somebody has to die in that cave. I said it earlier.
It better not be like
it better not be Pod.
Yeah.
Pod's gonna make it to the end. That is one thing I think the show got right. Pod, I'm not Kingsguard, but he does make it to the end. He has to. I'd be really upset. There's no need to take your vengeance out on other people. Leave Pod alone. Like I'm like Pod didn't do anything to anybody. But I don't know.
How to kill Fireweights. Cut their head off and what did it say?
and see if
See if that works.
Jackie, I was gonna answer the question if I had a sec. Jackie had asked, "How do you kill a fire white anyway?" I don't think that there's any actual trick to killing fire whites. Beric Dondarrion has proved that 6 times, or 7.
Yes.
Sorry, because there was the final one. It's not like just a an ice white. They don't have like a special weakness. Just death is death. Any killing blow would do him in.
I think I missed a super chat. No, I didn't. I don't know. I thought I missed one. I think I put it up there and I didn't read it on accident. And if that was your super chat, I'm sorry. You can ask me the question again.
One thing I love about the live chat is like they do not fucking behave. And
they don't. If Pod lives, the whores of King's Landing would be happy.
Yes, they would. And they all deserve to be.
We have a super chat from Jonathan Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping off subject, but I need Olin and Tyrell live with you girls. I wish.
She's what I want to be when I grow old, to be honest. And I feel like I'm well on my way.
We're talking about Diana Rigg.
We're talking about Olenna.
Oh, it was Reginald Taylor's super
Oh,
chat.
see, I might think. Oh, no. I was talking about the. Sorry. I was talking about the actress. No, I was talking about the actress, Diana. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah, I know. She was so good.
Amazing.
I loved her. I loved her when she said, "The men of Westeros are sheep. You're a dragon. Be a dragon." I live by that shit. Be a fucking dragon. Anytime you can be a dragon, choose violence. Yeah. So we have another super chat from Josh. Thank you for the super chat. Another great stream. Y'all stay with the amazing content, sending peace, love, and positive vibes everyone's way. Thank you so much for the super chat. So we're going to be signing out of here. It looked like we're going to be doing the North next week. So Theon, Asha, Davos.
I'm so excited about
Selyse, the Wildlings, Tormund.
Blood Raven.
He's a wildling, but yeah.
Blood Raven.
Wait,
Blood Raven.
Are we doing one episode or a
I can do Blood Raven right now. Someone rents a wood chipper at the end.
Bless up. Are we doing 1 part or 2 part for the North scraps?
Not sure. We'll talk.
We'll see if we can power through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's intend for 1 part. And
we want to sit here for 3 hours on one Friday night.
It'll probably be 2.
You know, sometimes
it depends because like how much I don't really have that much to say about Selyse. I mean, I have a lot to say about her, but it's not going to last more than 15 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Like I feel about Selyse like Jon Snow feels about Selyse. Like what did he say? Which he said something, and he's like, I didn't think I could dislike this woman anymore. I'm not surprised. Or something she says, he's like, I'm not shocked.
I love when he takes Val to meet Selyse. That's some of the best content right there.
I love Val.
That is some of the best content.
I feel like I'm in the minority about Val. I could give a flying fuck about her. I feel like she's just such like filler.
It's like that TikTok sound right now. You need to leave.
I could not give a fuck about her. I'm just like, okay.
I mean, she's gonna show
what do you want? Go.
Or they're like, they go to the door.
It's okay. Listen, I feel that way about Taylor Swift. Everyone thinks she's the shit, and I'm like,
same.
I see
Oh my god,
I see right through that
so
woman.
Fucking hard.
Yeah, not a fan.
Same.
I love you so hard. I feel the same way.
So maybe you're in the minority.
Nim, tell me how you really feel.
I'm sorry. I know people are so like. Just they want her and John together so fucking bad, and I'm like,
listen.
Who is this bitch? Who cares?
When Daenerys dies, not after getting murdered by the only man that she loved, when Daenerys dies by sacrificing herself for the better good, John is going to end up going back up north, and I do think he's going to end up being the king beyond the wall one day, and Val is going to be his queen.
I like that for
Ew.
John.
Love that
And I
for
like
him.
I do too.
It's a happy ending.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
If
had
you
a rough
think this
life.
has a happy ending, you haven't been paying
He's
attention.
been having a hard day.
Yeah, he's had some bad days. Just let him get like a couple years of some peace.
Oh,
and then
where
go
did
to
the
shit
Val
later.
hate come from? I swear you're a walking, talking cult leader, Gray. I swear.
I didn't say it. Nim
That
That was
Okay,
Nim.
never mind.
That was my bad.
Well, you still are, though. You still are.
Sorry, y'all. I know some of you love her, and I don't fault you for that. You can love Val all you want. I personally, I can't be pressed.
Natalie Smith said, I stay forgetting Val. Y'all ain't
Same.
shit.
I forget it's like a thing for a while, and someone mentions her. I'm like, oh yeah, that bitch. Okay.
Well, guys,
Okay.
we're gonna get
It was
off of
fun.
here. I had so much fun with you tonight. I missed you last week.
I missed you
Isn't this
too.
the first time we've gotten to sit down and talk for like 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Unfucking acceptable.
Unacceptable. But we are recording preposterous. Oh, I think I just wasn't supposed to say that. I wasn't supposed to say the name. I almost said the name.
Distractions.
Let me put this away.
Our
It's like,
podcast
what?
is coming along smoothly. We've got some other production goodies in the works.
Yes.
I don't know.
I was
suck at
about to
plugging
tell you
stuff.
guys. So I was about to tell you guys the name of it, and I don't think we have released
You
that
already-
information yet.
I mean, you kind of
already
like,
did just the tip.
She said I was
so
about
you
to.
might-
It was
10
just
seconds
the
after
tip, though.
she
It was
said
the
it.
tip.
but it's
No
like
one
a
can
big
get
tip.
pregnant from the tip. So.
It was like a 6-inch tip right there.
Yeah, so we will. That's gonna be coming out really soon, and yeah. So
What was
you
the
guys,
quote earlier? One pump and done or something? That's what
Oh,
you
mid pump.
we
Left
mid-
mid
mid-pump.
pump.
Mid-pump.
Yeah, I pulled out mid pump. Yeah.
Okay. But yes, that is coming along. We're gonna be recording. We just got a musician to do some music for us.
Yes.
It's coming, you guys. We're not just talking about it.
I feel like you guys are gonna really love it, and that's why I'm so excited for it, and I can't wait. But you guys have a good weekend. We love you so much. Thanks for chilling with us every Friday night. And peace and 7 blessings. Okay, my
7
sweet
blessings.
Bye.
Good night.
I hate you guys.
Septa Gray over here.
Shame. Good night, guys.